Good morning, students. This is KG Misra with the next part of the video of class 12 on chapter electric potential and capacitance. Okay. Uh, I hope that all of you are well and fine. Okay, and all of you are studying properly. See, my dear children, and in the last video, what we have done, we have found the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, when the space between the plates is filled with the air or vacuum. Okay, but suppose if there is some other medium. Okay, so what we obtained in the last class or last video, that is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor is given by epsilon naught A by D. D is the separation between the plates, A is the plate area, okay, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of the medium between the plates, that is free space. But suppose between the plates, actually we will drawing the plates like this. Okay, why? Because see, suppose this is the plate, you can see this is the plate, but if you see like this, what appears to you? It's like a line. Okay, so that's why this is actually plane, but it appears like a line. Okay, this is also a plate, but it appears like a line. Okay, so these are two plates which are parallel to each other. Got it? So now suppose in between the plate there is some other medium. Suppose you have placed this capacitor, okay, in water. So medium is not air. Okay. So what will happen? Suppose permittivity of that medium is epsilon. Okay. Then what we can write? We can write capacitance will become epsilon m by d, not naught. Okay, because epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, especially that is 8.85 10 to the power minus 12. Okay, has got the value. But permittivity of some other medium, you have to write like this. But we also know that no, epsilon is equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r, where epsilon r is the relative permittivity of that medium. Okay, so this equation will become C is equals to epsilon naught epsilon r A by D. Okay, where epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the medium between the plates. You can write it down. Epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the medium between the plates. Written this much? Okay. After this, what you have to do? See this epsilon r, that is the relative permittivity of the medium between the plates. That is also known as dielectric constant. That is actually equal to dielectric constant. Okay, epsilon r is equal to dielectric constant of that medium, and which is given by capital K. Remember, electrostatic constant is small k. Okay, but here we are using capital K. So our expression will become C is equals to epsilon naught capital K A upon D. If the space between the plates is completely filled by a medium, okay, whose dielectric constant is capital K. Got it? Okay. Our next topic is spherical capacitor. Listen, my dear children, as far as this CBSE board is concerned, it has got only parallel plate capacitor in its syllabus. Okay, but if you are trying for some competitive examinations, so we must go through the spherical capacitor as well as cylindrical capacitor also. Okay, so that's why I'm starting this topic. See, what is spherical capacitor? Okay, see, actually in the case of spherical capacitor, we used to have two spherical cells. Okay, this is one spherical cell, and then both are concentric. Actually, concentric means the center is same. This is center O, and there is another spherical cell, you can see here. Okay, these are the two spherical cells, both having center O. Clear? Suppose the radius of external one is B and radius of internal one is A. Okay, and this internal one has got negative charge over its surface, and this has got positive charge over its surface. inner surface as well. Okay. Now we want to find out the capacitance of this spherical capacitor. What is there in between these two? Let it be air. Okay, free space is there, suppose. So here what is there in between them? There is free space. Okay. So in order to find the capacitance between, of this spherical plate capacitor, what we have to do? We have to find out the electric field here. Okay. See, what about the electric field inside? Zero. Because if you draw a Gaussian surface, inside this, what is there? No charges there. All the charges are there on the surface. Okay. Now, if you take a point over here, so you'll find the electric field due to these charges is in this direction. Okay. And electric field due to this positive charge is also in this direction. So both get added up. That's why what you find, electric field here, it is there. Okay. But what about the electric field outside? If you take a point outside, these charges will, if suppose you are keeping here plus 1 coulomb positive charge, so these charges, positive charges will repel this. Okay. So due to these positive charges, electric field will be directed in this direction. Okay. And due to these negative charges, these negative charges will attract this unit positive charge towards it. Okay. So electric field due to negative charges, that is E2, will be in opposite direction. Okay. If the charges are same, then what you will find? Because this distance is very small, so you will find that these electric fields are also equal and they are directed in opposite direction. And therefore, net electric field outside is also 0. Okay. So basically we have to find out net electric field inside, that is between the two spherical cells in this region. So in order to find the electric field in this region, what we have to do? We have to draw a Gaussian surface. This is what? This is Gaussian surface. And let the radius of this surface is r. Okay. Done. Now, according to definition of flux, what we know, phi is equals to integration E dot ds. Okay. Now see, if you draw any surface or take a small part of this, okay, what you will find? You will find that the surface has got area. Okay, this is the got area in this direction. Okay, that is ds. Okay, and what about the electric field? That you will get. Due to this negative charge, it is in that direction, so electric field is in that direction. Okay, so what you are going to get? You are going to get, it is cos of, okay. So if you take a small area over here, that is ds, so it is directed outward. Electric field will be directed from positive charge to negative charge, so electric field will be directed inward. Okay, so both have got opposite direction. So angle is how much? 180 degree. So what will get here? E ds cos 180. Okay, that means what we will get? E is constant, we will take out. Okay, ds, we have to integrate ds. Cos 180 is -1, so we will have minus over here. Okay, now this ds has to be integrated over this whole surface. What is the surface area of this spherical surface of radius r? It is from 0 to 4 pi r square. Okay, clear? So phi is this much. Now what we get? Phi finally? Phi is equals to minus E into 4 pi r square. Let us mark this equation number 1. Okay, but before marking this as equation number 1, see here, what does this negative sign indicates? This negative sign indicates that, see, for flux there is a sign convention. When flux is entering in a surface, then the flux comes negative. When flux is moving out of a surface, then it comes positive. So it is coming negative because electric field is directed in this direction. So flux is entering in this surface. Okay, and that's why it is coming negative. Okay, but what is the flux? Flux is E into 4 pi r square. Negative sign indicates that flux is entering the surface. Clear? Just note it down. Noted? Okay. Now, so our equation 1 will become what? I'm going to leave this last one. So from here, what we get? Phi is equals to E 4 pi r square. This is the magnitude of flux. Okay, this is our equation number 1. Minus I have removed because minus is indicating that the flux is entering in the surface, okay, from all sides. It's not coming out. If it is coming out, then it's plus, and if it's entering in the surface, then it is negative, okay. That is sign convention. Okay. Now, according to Gauss law, what we can write? Phi is equals to Q net upon epsilon. Okay. Now, how much charge is enclosed? This is the charge enclosed in this. Okay. So, that is the charge enclosed in that. Okay. Now, how much charge is enclosed? Suppose we are writing that this is charge plus Q, and here is charge. It is minus Q, total charge. Okay. So we can write it here. Okay. So phi is equals to minus Q by epsilon. Okay. But again, this minus indicates that flux is entering the surface. Okay. So either you keep both sides minus sign, or you can remove it. It's only you. If you're finding you want to keep, because in scalar quantities we keep the sign, you can keep it, no problem. You can keep at both the places. Okay. That is better for you. This is our equation 2. Okay. That's what we got. Clear? Now, write it written. Okay. Now from equations 1 and 2, I'm going to remove this. From equations 1 and 2, what we'll get? It is minus E into 4 pi r square is equals to minus Q by epsilon naught. That's what you are getting. Both the minus will cancel out first. Secondly, what you will get? E is equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. That's what you will get. Okay. That is the electric field at any point between these two spherical cells. Any point. Okay. At a distance r from its center. Either here or here or here or anywhere. Okay. On this. Okay. At a distance r. So this is our electric field. Now, what we know? We know that, no, as we know, what we know? E is equals to minus dV by dr. Okay. Now from here, what we can write? Can we write? dV is equals to minus E dot dr, because E and dr both are vector quantities. Already I have told you this. Okay. Now, sorry, dV is equals to minus E dot dr. But what is V? V is integration of minus E dot dr. Okay. Because see, it is dV, so we have not put integration. That's why it is dV. Once we are integrating it, it will become V. Okay. So V is equals to minus E dot dr. Okay. Now again, for writing more, we have to remove the upper part. All of you written this? Okay. So now see, what is the direction of E at any point between these two? E is this side. What about the direction of R? R is outside. Okay. R is directed outward. E is directed inward. Both are in opposite direction. Angle is how much? 180 degree. So what we will get? V is equals to minus E dr cos 180. Okay. And cos 180 is how much? Minus 1. So this minus and minus due to cos 180, what you will get? Positive, and you can take E out. Okay. Now dr you have to integrate. Dr will you have to integrate from A to B, because the radius of the inner part is A, radius of the outer part is B. So you have to integrate from A to B. Got it? Okay. But is really E is constant? No, we have not seen the value of E, no? So we have to write E dr, okay, A to B. Clear? Now what is the value of E? Just you have to find out from equation number 1. So let us mark this equation number 2. Okay. Then you will write, now you write from equations 1 and 2. From equations 1 and 2. We get, let's see what we get. V is equals to integration A to B. What is the value of E? It is Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R square, and this is dr. Okay. So see, R is not independent of E is not independent of R. So that means E is not constant, it is variable. Okay. Now what we have to do? Again I have to rub this upper part. We have written. Okay. Only I will leave the last term. Okay. Now see in this what we can do. V is equals to, okay, Q we can take out, 4 pi epsilon naught we can take out. Okay. And we will have what? R square downward. So we will take up, what we will get? R is the power minus 2. Here A is there, here B is there, here dr is there. See, when you are going to integrate this, what you will get? Do you remember the formula? X raised to the power n. Integration is x raised to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Okay. This is the formula. So integrating x raised to the power n dx is x raised to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Okay. What is the value of n over here? Minus 2. So minus 2 plus 1 is how much? Minus 1. So in power also you will get minus 1, as well as in the denominator also you will get minus 1. Okay. So what we are going to get, let's see. V is equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. We'll integrate this, we will get R is the, sorry, not X, it is R is the power minus 1 by minus 1. Here A and B is there. Okay. Now, V is equals to, what we'll get? We'll, due to this minus 1, we can write this Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This R is power minus 1 means 1 by R. A to B. Any doubt in this? No. Okay. So V is equals to minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. What we can do here? We have to first put the upper limit, that is 1 by B. Then minus sign. Then the lower limit, that is 1 by A. Okay. This is minus sign. Got it? I have put the first upper limit, then minus sign, then lower limit. Okay. Note down so that I can wrap the upper part. Okay. You have done. Very nice. See here, what else we can write? This V is there. Can we take this minus sign inside? What will get? 4 pi epsilon naught. It will remain as it is. As we are taking minus sign inside, this is positive, so this will become negative. And this is negative, so it will become positive. So this will become positive and other will become negative. Okay. So we are going to have this. This is the expression for potential. Electric potential between the potential difference between these two spheres. Okay. So we can mark this equation number 3. Okay. Now we have got the potential. What we have to do? Now according to the definition of capacitance. According to the definition of capacitance. I should drop this also, I think. Capacitance. What we know? We know that Q is equals to CV. Okay. From here, what we can write? From here, can we write C is equals to Q by V? Okay. Rather, here we have taken a small q, so we should write here a small q. Okay. Because same charge is there, no? We are talking about the same capacitor. Okay. So we get this equation, that is equation number 4. Okay. Now, from equations 3 and 4. From equations 3 and 4. Okay. From equations 3 and 4. What we will get? Let's see. Just note it down first. Noted? Okay, very nice. So this is our equation. Now from equations 3 and 4, what we will get? See, equation 4 was what? C is equals to Q by V. What was the expression for V? It was Q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by A minus 1 by B. That was there. Now this 1 by 4 pi epsilon will go up. Okay. But before that we should do one thing. Q by, here 4 pi epsilon naught has come. Very nice. Here Q is there. And here you can take the LCM of this. You will get here what? AB. Here what you will get? B multiplied with 1. So B, A multiplied with minus 1. So minus A. Okay, this you will get. So this AB will also go up. And at the same time this Q will get cancelled out. So what we left with? 4 pi epsilon naught AB upon B minus A. Okay. So our capacitance of a spherical capacitor, okay, is epsilon naught AB by B minus A, where B is the external radius and A is the radius of the inner cell. Okay, B is the radius of the external cell. Okay. C is equals to Q by V. Q is it is. This is the value of V from equation 3. Okay. So we have kept the value of V from equation 3 in equation 4, and then we got this. So 4 pi epsilon naught will go up. It has come. Q will cancelled out. This can be taken. LCM can be taken here. So AB, LCM, B multiplied here, A multiplied here. So B multiplied here, B is positive. A multiplied minus 1, so minus A. Okay. Now this AB will also go up. So 4 pi epsilon naught AB, 4 pi epsilon naught AB, and B minus A left in the denominator. Okay. So this is the capacitance of a capacitor. It is depending upon the product of radius of the two concentric spheres, okay, spherical cells rather, and the medium between them, and it is inversely proportional to the difference between, okay, the radius of the two spherical cells. If the difference is more, then capacitance will be less. So if the difference is less, then capacitance will be more. So both the spherical surfaces must be having means radius almost equal, okay, as small as nearer as possible. Okay, because we cannot have very near, no. If we will have very near, then what will happen? Both the surfaces may touch each other, and in that case, what will happen? There will maybe transfer of charge. Then both will get neutralized, so they will not remain capacitor at all. Okay. Now, if the medium between them is not a free space, then what we can do? Yes, any idea? Obviously, if space between them is not free space, then obviously we can write C is equals to 4 pi epsilon. Instead of epsilon naught, we will write epsilon AB, and it is B minus A. Or we can write C is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R AB upon B minus A, where epsilon R is the relative permittivity of that medium. Also you can write in terms of dielectric constant 4 pi epsilon naught capital K AB upon B minus A. Okay. In this way you can get the expression for spherical capacitor, okay, when the medium is other than free space. Okay, got it? Okay, next is cylindrical capacitor. Okay, this is again not in the CBSE syllabus, but it is in the competitive examinations. Okay, see, in case of cylindrical capacitor, no, we have got a cylindrical cell is there. Okay, that is outer one, which has got radius small b. Okay, and there is a internal cylinder. Okay, which has got radius small a, and this is the axis of the cylinder from where the radius is measured. Okay, they are coaxial cylinders, we call it. Now if we want to apply the Gauss theorem, we have to draw a Gaussian surface. See, this is the Gaussian surface. Okay, which is there in between the two cylinders. Okay, we are going to draw. This is the Gaussian surface. Let the radius of the Gaussian surface is r. Okay, now again what we have to do according to definition, of flux, what we will get? Phi is equals to integration E dot ds. Okay, now if you take a surface area in this Gaussian surface, the surface area ds will be directed in this direction. What about electric field? Here it is positive, here it is negative, so it will be directed in this direction, electric field. Okay, so what is the angle between them? That is 180 degree. So what will you get? Phi is equals to integration E ds cos 180. Okay, this S is there. Now cos 180 is how much? -1. So we will get phi is equals to minus E integration of ds. Now ds is what? What is the whole surface area of this Gaussian surface? It is, if the length is L, suppose length I have not given, length is L. Okay, so what is the total surface area of this Gaussian surface, Gaussian cylindrical surface? It is pi RL. Okay, because the surface area of a cylindrical surface is how much? It is 2 pi RL. Okay, so you will get what? 0 to 2 pi, R is radius, L is length. Okay, so minus E into, you will get 2 pi RL. This is our flux. This is our equation number 1. Again the minus sign indicating that flux is entering in this Gaussian surface, not coming out. That's why it is minus. Okay, okay, so this we have done this much. Now I can remove this upper part. Okay, I will leave just last one, question number 1. Okay. According to, now according to Gauss law, what we can write? Phi is equals to Q net by epsilon naught. Now what is the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface? Charge on this cylinder. Okay, and what is given? Linear charge density is minus lambda. Okay, so what is the curved surface area of the cylinder? Okay, that we have to know. The curved surface area of the cylinder is, it's how much? Okay, so linear charge density is minus lambda. Okay, linear charge density means lambda is equals to Q by L. So Q is equals to what? See, linear charge density means what? We know that lambda is equals to Q by L. Okay, so that means Q is equals to, here minus lambda is there, so we will get minus Q. So minus Q is equals to how much? Minus Q is equals to minus lambda into L. That's what we will get. Okay, so here it is negative lambda and length is how much? L. So we can write straight away Q net is how much? Q net is equals to minus lambda into L. That's what we'll get. We can put it here. So we'll get phi is equals to minus lambda L upon epsilon naught. This is our equation number 2. Okay, understood? Because the charge is distributed linearly over this cylinder that linear charge distribution is, or linear charge density is minus lambda because of negative charge. It is minus. Now what is the total charge on this cylinder? It is obviously linear charge density into length. Okay, that we got equation number 2. Now from equations 1 and 2, what we can get? Both are the values of phi. So can we equate both of them? Okay. So I'm going to have the upper part and then we will equate this. See, these two equations are there. From 1 we can write, from equations 1 and 2. What we'll get? Minus E into 2 pi RL is equals to minus lambda L by epsilon naught. Okay. Now minus minus will cancel out and LL also gets cancelled out. We are left with E is equals to 2 pi R is equals to minus lambda by lambda by epsilon naught. So E 2 pi R is equals to lambda by epsilon naught. So we can write E is equals to how much? Lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R. Can we write it like this? See this? This is our equation number 3. Can we write it like this? Yes. Okay. So we got this electric field. Note down. Now we have to find out the potential. The process is same for all the cases. Okay. We have to find the potential, then we can find out the capacitance. Okay. So just note down. Okay. Now. We know that E is equals to minus dV by dr. Again we can write dV is equals to minus E dr, rather E dot dr. Okay. So V is equals to integration minus E dot dr. Now see, radius is always from center towards outward and electric field is here inward. So both are in opposite direction, because electric field is from positive charge to negative charge, so inward. Radius always starts from center and goes out, so both are directed in the opposite direction. Okay, and that's what we can write. E dr cos 180. Cos 180 is how much? Minus 1. That minus 1 into this minus will become positive, so we will have integration E dr. Okay, that is the potential, the expression for potential we have got. Okay. Now, what is the value of E? Already we have got the value of E in equation number 3. Let this equation number 4. Okay. Now what we'll write? From equations 3 and 4. I should drop the upper part. I have written. Okay. So from equations 3 and 4, what we'll get? Let's see. From equations 3 and 4. What we have to do? Actually, we have to place the value of E in this. Okay. So we get V is equals to integration. E is how much? It is lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught R. That was there into dr. Okay. And what is the limit? R is going to extend from A to B, because radius of smaller cylinder is A and radius of outer cylinder is B. So A to B. Okay. Now we need to integrate this. So what will get? See, V is equals to lambda is constant, will come out. 4 pi epsilon naught is constant. What will remain? Only dr upon R. A to B. See, my dear children, I think you might be remembering, or you might have forgotten. Dx by x is what? It is ln x. Okay. It is ln x, that is log to the base ex, that is the integration. Okay. So if you have forgotten, then you can see that formula, and according to that formula what we can write? Lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught ln r, limit is A to B. Okay, in accordance to that formula I have done. See, now we can put the limit. So V is equals to lambda 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, here we can write ln, value of R we will put first B, then minus sign, then ln A. Okay, first upper limit, then minus sign, then we have put the lower limit. Okay, so we have got V is equals to this. Okay, note it down. Noted. Okay, so I'm going to rub the upper part, okay, for you. Now see, you might be remembering that property of logarithm. Log a minus log b is what? Log a by b. But here log b minus log a is there. So it will get log, that is ln of b by a. Okay. So according to the property of log, we can write lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught ln b by a. Okay. Because ln b minus ln a is equals to ln b by a. So we get this expression. This is what? This expression. This is fifth one. Okay. What is this equation? Now, according to the definition of capacitance, what will we get? According to definition of capacitance, what we get? C is equals to, we can write Q upon V. Okay. So here we can put the value of V. Let's see what we get. This is equation number. But what is lambda? Lambda is equals to Q into L, because Q by L. Okay. So we can write from here Q is what? Q is equals to lambda into L. We can write this. Now we put this value of Q over here. What will we get? C is equals to lambda L by V. Okay, this is our equation number 6. We got C is equals to lambda L by V. Okay. Now we can put the value of V in this equation number 6 from equation 5. Okay. So we will putting the value of V from equation 5 in equation 6. Okay. So I will write here from equations 5 and 6. What will you get? Obviously C is equals to lambda L by, what is the expression for V? It is lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, ln b by a. That was there. Now what we can do? This will go up. So we can write C is equals to lambda L 4 pi epsilon naught upon lambda ln b by a. That's what we can write. This lambda and lambda will cancel out. We will get C is equals to L, rather we can write first 4 pi epsilon. 4 pi epsilon naught L by ln b by a. Okay, that's what we get. Just note it down. From where we got this 4 pi epsilon naught? Oh, I'm making a mistake. Just see, it was not 4 pi epsilon, it was 2 pi epsilon, no? Because 2 pi r was there. So it is 2 pi epsilon. We are making the mistake, just check it. Everywhere you will have to make it 2 pi epsilon because 2 was there. From where this 4 came, actually by mistake we have written, okay? So it is 2 pi epsilon L by ln b by a, okay? Now, okay, so this is the expression for capacitance of a cylindrical capacitor, okay? When the length of the cylinder is L and space between them it's filled with a free space, that is air or vacuum, okay? And the radius of the inner cylinder is A and radius of the outer cylinder is B. Then this is the expression for capacitance of a cylindrical capacitor. But my dear children, if the space between the two cylinders is filled with some other dielectric, okay, then what we will write? How we can get the expression for it? See, in that case it is completely filled. Then what we can write? C is equals to 2 pi epsilon, not epsilon naught, okay, L upon ln b by a, or you know very well it is 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon r L upon ln b by a, or you can replace epsilon r by dielectric constant. So C is equals to 2 pi epsilon naught capital K, that is dielectric constant, into L by ln b by a. Okay, so these are the expressions which we get. Okay, just note it down. Okay, so with this we have found out the expression for capacitance of a cylindrical capacitor, spherical capacitor, and parallel plate capacitor. Okay, in the next video we will solving some numericals. Okay, till then just revise this, watch the video. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can leave the doubt in the comments. Okay, till then, thank you and take care.